Hello and welcome to Goa 365's Story Behind the Story. Now, tourism is the mainstay of Goa's economy, that everybody knows. However, the type of tourism, the way tourism is going, and those are lots of those issues are being discussed on a regular basis here. We have a tourism where there are a lot of massage parlors, now dance bars, casinos, family tourism, high-end tourism, low-end tourism, people who cook on the roads, people who bring their own onions and cooks and oil and all and gases they cook on the road. So what type of tourism Goans want and Goa wants, that is something that we need to discuss. So today we have a very specific agenda, that is the dance bars and dance bar culture on the coastal belt, specifically Calangute, Anjuna, in that area. To discuss this issue which has been, irking, or sort of sense of disquiet among a lot of people, given the fact that there is a lot of human trafficking, sex trafficking, there is lots of issues are there. Given the fact of that, especially in these areas, we are trying to make some sense and see what Goa would want, what Goa needs. To discuss this issue, I have my good friend Rajan Dimelo of TMC. Rajan Bab, welcome. Nitish Chodankar from Calangute, social worker. Nish Bab, welcome. Another good friend of mine who I met after a very long time, Umesh Gavkar, former tough cop of Goa. Umesh Bab, welcome to our show. Premanand Divkar, very strong social activist and president of Calangute Constituency Forum. Premanand Bab, welcome to our show. I think Premanand Bab, first time. I hope you are not remain a stranger. You come more often on our show.
Oh.
Juliana Lohar, who's been on our show before, we have discussed this issue, not in this specific relation. Juliana Lohar of ours, ma'am, welcome to our show. Now, Rajan Bab, you are the only politician, so as to say, on this panel. But specifically, I needed you here. Why? Because you are from Giri. You have been very closely connected with Saligao and that coastal belt. So tell us who you think is responsible for quite a mess which is happening in that area and the general situation from a civic society political point of view. Rajan Bab.
As you have said, I am the only politician. I would like to make one correction.
Okay.
I am officially a politician. That's all are bigger politicians than me. Okay. However, the politics, they say, starts in the courtyard of every house.
Okay.
When a child, you plays politics with his mother. When he cries for something, mother tries to give him something he doesn't want it. He wants something else. So everything is that way. Now the question is, who is responsible for this?
Yes.
So first point is, it is an admitted position that we are in a total mess. So who is responsible? Definitely every successive government is responsible. It is not only one government, every successive government has played its role. At that point of time, if it was nipped in the bud, what you call it, we would have not been in this state. Just now you was talking about Sahib Sangdalo, Calangute, you have to go two-wheelers. Believe it or not, with my family, I have not been for over a decade. It is not worth going to that Calangute. Can you sit on the beach? Can you go to the beach? You see? So if we Goans who used to go there, I will tell you, from Giri, we used to go on cycle, sleep in the night on beach and then come back by cycle home. Can you do that today? Impossible. The question is, where has greed taken us? And for that I believe everyone is responsible. See, go to any house in the coastal area. Why Calangute? Go to any coastal area. Everybody has rented the houses. They don't even care. They have got grown-up girls in the house. They've got nothing. Money has become the god, and therefore we have reached the stage where disaster, according to me, to be very frank, irrevocable. Irrevocable. You can only put a stop, but revoking back to its original position and original glory. I heard that MLA of Calangute talking nonsense. He has brought dishonor, that is saying that we have to restore it to glory. You first destroy it, and then you say you have to restore it. What nonsense is going on? And now what is going on is only to increase the upside, nothing else. Nothing going to stop.
Okay, Trajan Bob, thanks for this. I'll come back to this because I also have some views on this specifically, given that I am also closely connected to Calangute and Parra. But Nitish Bob, you are from that, you're there, you do business there, and you are part of so many of these things. What do you think is what Trajan Bob says? Is he making some sense? जाता धावपाच्या काबार जाला कितें आसा एक्झॅक्टली म्हणजे युअर व्ह्यूज
म्हाका दिसता कवर जाल्लें आसा सारकें ते म्हणटा आय एग्री विथ हिम कित्याक आमी सदांच म्हणटा की वुमन ती आमची भयण जावं आवय जावं बायल जावं चेडूं प्रोटेक्ट करूंक जाय आयज कलांगुटान हे इन्सिडंट जातात म्हाका दिसता विदीन 1 year वो 4th काय 5th इन्सिडंट फाटीं एक इन्सिडंट पुलीस स्टेशन ते वॉर्ड मेंबराच्या चेड्याक मारला आनी कोणाक मारला वो 4th इन्सिडंट आयज कालांगूट आमकां खूब चड वचन सेफ जाल्लें ना हेचो मेन रिजन जाल्लो आहा कानयाची आराडी येयल्ल्यो आहा सायद मायग्रेट्स 99% हे आमी 12 years जाले डान्स बारांचे सदांच इगेस्ट कहे आसले 90 to 100% म्हणून येता सगळे आउटसायडर्स गायड्स टाउटिंग बीन करता ते आनी एक 2-3 ना ते अरावंड मोर दॅन 1000 टाउट्स कोणाक स्टॉप करतले तांकां इसरोंक अशी ते आंगार येता 20-30 जाणां ते भुरग्यांक मारता आयज लॉ खंय ना खंय आमचो फेल जाल्लो आहा
Okay, thanks Nitish Bab. Now law and order situation, right person is Umesh Bab. Umesh Bab, tell me, it's not so difficult. I remember when there was a riot-like situation in Margaon one day. It can be handled, right? If it's a law and order situation. But the buts are always there. You always ifs and buts I talk in. You give us your views on this whole situation.
Nee, law and order situation can be easily tackled. There is no issue about it. But what he says about the illegal activities which are going on, for which you read, we require a perfect legislation because everybody is passing a buck. When you ask the Panchayat is a local body, licensing authority also. So if there is any illegality, they have all the powers to inspect and take appropriate action. But everybody pointing fingers at others. And therefore, there is a scope for these guns and touts to flourish because if there is a perfect action right in time, there is also another thing. Tourism department knows very well what is going on. They have to jot it down all these issues and to plug the issues. If there are no sufficient laws, why they are not getting past the legislation through the government to cover all these issues?
Absolutely.
Very true.
Absolutely. Tourism minister cannot wash his hands off, right?
Other day I heard some Panchayat members were saying what to do, what we can do. Now, Panchayat is a local body. They are also the licensing authority. And above that, there are so many other authorities. Whenever there are appeals, they are hearing into appeals also, right? So, if you find right now the dilemma is there is no perfect legislation to directly tackle the issue, put it down and get past the legislation through the government.
Government has 28 MLAs right now. Any legislation.
Me and come out with appropriate legislation now. But why you are tarnishing the image of Goa?
Prevananda, now this before I get your views, I want to put one point. Nitish has said and Trajan, everybody has said, dance bars. Fair enough. Restaurant. Fair enough. The owners of these dance bars are gone. We are shouting at migrants. They are running it. Who are the owners? Including certain punch members, according to what I hear. We can always check. It's not so difficult for you to check who are the owners of the people who are running dance bars. I don't know. This is my point. Ata tumi bolo, your views, what you have to say.
As Mr. DeMello has said that destruction is irrevocable.
I don't agree.
Yeah,
Anyways.
but what I say, where we have a government in place, they have the majority to pass any legislation.
They have major majority.
Yes. But if they have the will to do, anything is possible. It looks that they don't have the will to do. Why? What is the motive behind it? We need to find out. Most important is anything to do, the person has to have a will to do. Now we have been floating so many complaints, bringing it to the notice of the government, to all, right from the minister to the chief secretary. But our complaints are going in the dustbins. It has not been heard. It is going in the dustbins because we are putting it to the knowledge of the government because so that they can wake up and do something about it. But they don't. It shows that they don't have a will to do or they don't want to do. Either of the two.
Yeah, Pramamba, it's a very good point, but I would like to change slightly with Juliana ma'am. Juliana ma'am, this is also a very, very humanitarian thing because the way you have been dealing with, women involved in trafficking, sex trafficking, all general things. So it can start affecting locals also, no? Because people come here in Goa with a certain mindset. They come here, the tourists who come here, they come like, okay, for booze, cheap booze. They come to see some foreigners because of, white is Indian men have a fetish for white, fair people. You see all the ads which come on TV. Or drugs today is a big thing you have to accept. We are quite a big with the number of people. What is it not going to affect people, and what trouble do you face when these things happen on a regular basis?
See, when you talk about affecting the local people, if you look at the statistical analysis that we have done from 2014 to 2019, when we look at victims who have been rescued by the police, we have covered those victims. We have seen Goa is fourth in number.
In the country?
In the country. So we have girls trafficked from 24 states into Goa and from 6 foreign nationals. Okay, that includes Bangladesh, Nepal, former Russian states. Okay. So when you talk about locals getting affected, our concern is Goa stands number 4. Okay, first we have Maharashtra, West Bengal, Delhi, and then Goa is number 4. So that is a concern because if you look at it already, there is a market that is created, and if the market is there is demand. Okay, and obviously supply. When it comes to supply, because when you talk about sex trafficking, it doesn't matter who the victim is, from where, they just need a supply. They need a person to be supplied for the demand that is being created by the clients who are coming into Goa for a time of fun, pleasure. Okay, and fun and pleasure includes for them is getting sexual services, buying sex. So that is a major concern of us with the way things are happening and how victims who are from Goa, they are getting affected. When you talk about, so these are who are victims of sex trafficking, but does a local person also who's walking on the street get affected? We've had interaction with a lot of college students, and it is really disturbing to see the students who are in the UG students who share their experience of when they are walking on the road, chalti hai kya karke, they're getting solicited.
That's what I meant.
Okay,
That's
so
exactly
that
what I
is
meant.
our concern. And today you have brought in the topic of dance bar. Now, where is this dance bar? Which act are we having? Okay, right of now, as I understand it, there are restaurants and bars who have got license to run a bar. Now, in bar is dancing allowed? Where is the legal provisions? Why are we not putting our policies into shape? And our best example is you look at our neighboring state. Maharashtra under the Police Act had the dance bar operating, right? Now, in 2016, this act has been amended and we have the Maharashtra Prohibition of Obscene Dance in Hotels, Restaurants and Bar and Protection of Dignity of Women Act 2016. So now Goa, we need to wake up, because if we keep sitting and putting the blame game, okay, I don't know what we're going to land up to. It's going to be a big bomb blast. So I think the policy makers, we need to see how we have a policy, because I think all of us over at some point or the other, like Sir has shared about having policies in place. Only if we have policies in place, do we have acts, do we have laws, then can we, I think, save Goa from whatever Goa is going through right now.
Ma'am, I don't know about policies. I think from what I see, we have got a lot of laws. I don't know about this specific. We have got implementation in Goa is always an issue, which I am sorry to change the topic, like roads. So let's, Rajabha, but this point, no, which Juliana ma'am brought is something I have seen, and personally I have had sort of discussions with people on the road when they pass comments on goods. But before we continue on this, I'm going to come back to you on this, Rajbab. We will go in for a short commercial break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Rajbab, yeah, because I have had this quote unquote discussions with guys, passing comments on girls, whether whatever they are, and even in restaurants, especially after 2 drinks. Calangute side to I very rarely go up till the church is maximum. But Rajbab, this is going to get worse. What is
I told you that we are a part of it. We give our whole houses, rooms, not caring.
But these are not the people who are staying there.
No, 1
The
minute.
guys who
1
come.
minute. It all starts. It all starts. You differed with me that it is not irrevocable. It's very easy.
That I did.
No, but don't make a mistake. What I am trying to say, at least bring a stop to it,
Okay.
to where it is right now.
Yes.
But it is growing every day.
Yes.
Now, coming, the man who was the law enforcing authority, and I have seen him, I'm not pampering on his face.
So, yes.
I know him when he was the Calangute police station.
Yes,
It was there where he was held responsible. We toppled Rani's government and he is there. He's there. And Rani asked me, what you were doing? Government volunteer? What you were doing there? Am I right, sir? But poor fellow, what he could do? We did it in Calangute. We did it somewhere else. How he is going to come to know? However, the question is, there are enough laws.
This is what I think.
But the judicial system, may it be at the panchayat level, maybe director of panchayat, maybe anywhere, stay is the easiest thing to get in this world, in this country, number one. I will give you, and Mr. Gaonkar will agree with me. Before the NDPS Act came in, Mapsa garden and Bastarete Kongori Iktale, it was such a small level. Such a small level. You brought in an act and a disaster coming. Where the act talks of 10 years and such stringent, that was not elected. So, will an act, the law enforcing authority arrests me. I know how they suffer also, the cops. Immediately I am granted bail. What the fellows are going to do? The judicial system today is being used to deny justice, which is supposed to be meant to give justice. You take that old Goa case, Baglo, standing there staring in front of us. The union minister in Rajya Sabha admits that it is in a protected site. Otherwise you will use bulldozers to bulldoze anything. But here nothing is happening. Now and it is being connected at the Krishna. What does it do? It's a heritage site. It's an international scenario where people are watching how the state government is playing with it. You see, and then you get a lawyer who says, I want 3 weeks time. Everybody is ready to demolish, and the lawyer who's supposed to fight for demolition asks for 3 weeks time.
So point.
What is this here? And I said it the other day. Such laws should be removed immediately. They are incompetent.
So you mean the PPs and all, the government?
No, there was a lawyer appearing for the central government. What is this? Everybody is ready. Notices are issued. There is a lacuna. See, I have said it. You issue a notice. You issue a demolition order without giving a show cause notice. Immediately you go to the court. Natural justice is prevailed. Now, if you do not know that you have to first show cause notice, sack him here. Come on. He doesn't know his job, or he is playing in the hands of this.
Yeah, but
say that I will do
this
this.
Context, how does this work? In this context, now, therefore, like dance bar.
I'm coming to it.
Okay.
Now, as Madam has just now said, are there licenses for this? Dance bars?
No, licensing, are they allowed?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
And they're allowed. And they're happening. And not 1 and 2. In thousands.
Thousands, I don't know that outside.
I'm telling you. If you take Baga from Baga end, I'll tell you, and you go to end of Sikiri, you get more than 500 dance bars. And as he said, we also pointed out, somebody pointed out, they are outsiders. And the touts, our tourism minister is coming with some new thing, illegal touts. He's a legal tout.
Tout is a tout.
Tout is a tout. The tourism minister is totally in such
So
a...
tourism minister says the cops are not listening to me. This is a bite.
No, that's what I have said. No? That means his home minister is incapable.
Yeah, that point was really amazing.
His home minister was incapable. That's what he's saying. Tell the people of Goa.
Ah, that's a political point which I didn't get at that time.
What he's telling the people of Goa, he is out to kick me out, but I am saying that he is incompetent. See, there is a tussle going on. Please understand. There is a... See, have you seen the captain of ports
Yeah.
reply to the jetty?
Correct. I want
When two departments are fighting openly.
I want to bring, I'll come back to you on this. Nitish Bab, 500 to 1000 done. Now this is possible.
Okay,
I thought it was
dance
6 or 7. yeah.
डान्स बाज म्हाका दिसता Calangute I am talking only
Calangute, yes, yes.
13 to 14 हा आणि माझ्याकडे
16.
नाव आहे हा
16.
16 okay sorry
16.
16
16 owned by them, huh?
16 world record.
Huh?
16
16
See,
world
he's
record
talking
which
of-
has been stopped
on
earlier.
record.
You
Okay.
see
On
the
record.
policy.
This is off record.
Calangute.
Because everything is off record. There is nothing on record there, basically. But they have distributed fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Go on. Yeah, go
say
on.
भाई actually it should start from the grassroots level. आता कन्सर्न वॉर्ड मेंबर इलेक्ट करून येता लोकांच्या त्या वाड्यार ताका सगळ्या खबर आसता चलता कितें पळय तो सगळ्यांचे सिग्नेचर घेत वाड्या वयल्या सगळ्यांचे आनी एक मेमोरेंडम करून पंचायतीन वचून रेजोल्युशन जर तुम्ही पास करून सीएमाक डायरेक्ट सगळें कोण जाता
नितीश, हांव मातसो इंटरप्ट करता हिंगा तुका पळय तूं धंदो चलयता तूं तुजेरूच नोटीस काडटलो वेट पॅनल बापायचें व्हडल्या बीग
हा.
गॉडफादर
या
कोण नोटीस काडटलो हांव हू वील टेक द नोटीस ओके नाव यू टॉक
म्हणजे कोण काडना तो इनवॉल्ड हा जालो न्हू
I don't know who is responsible. That is what म्हणटा
So what-
नावा काढना but
By
actually
asking this question,
Ah.
you are only confirming that the things that are going on is irrevocable.
I don't agree with you They're on irrevocable.
No,
I am
no.
telling what is happening. Of course it can be
No, no, no,
done.
no.
There is a one thing because how the dance bars came to Goa.
How?
In 2005, the Bombay has banned.
Correct.
2005, Bombay has banned the dance bars. That's the, most of the dance bars were there in Bombay.
Sure, yeah.
Now there was a unemployment for all those girls. There was an unemployment for that. That is what the court also says. So they wanted some source of income. The people, the ladies and the girls who were there, they had come down to Goa. Either they have come down to Goa or they are brought to Goa. And that is how the dance bar
So
has
this is
mushroomed.
humanitarian angle.
Yeah, but
I think what
No.
we need to do is we need to look at, because according to me, okay, the women were trafficked and brought in, and
Right.
because that
Yes.
2005 you had dance bar closure and you had the Bina demolition in 2004.
Yes.
Okay,
Right.
and that is how you have it all spread. But when we talk about how did the dance bar bloom up, we need to see who are the ones running it. The
Exactly.
waiters in the dance bar, they were unemployed. They came here and they knew the trick. So those waiters have come and they have set up the trend here. Okay. So when we are talking about the women, we also need to see those who already had certain exposure experience. They have done that. And today, what is the scenario? I do know there are girls who are being brought in from Nepal who have been there in the entertainment sector, brought into the dance bars over here, and they are the face. You have the touts who are soliciting for these girls. They are soliciting and trying to get these girls, trying to see how they're soliciting and getting these girls to these customers.
Okay, we need to take a
Okay.
small break. Just give me a minute. Yeah, inconclusive as far as I am concerned. We will continue this after this short break. Keep watching Goa 365.